Greetings, hello and welcome to our channel, The Ministry of the Real Truth. This video is in reply to a comment we got about this particular video from what we believe to be a sarcastic person, saying that they were into the video 2 minutes 48 seconds or something, and stated that it had no substance, that it just waffled on, W-O-F-F-L-E-D, not waffled, W-A-F-F-L-E-D. So they obviously don't know how to spell properly. But anyway, that's minor. And they said, yeah, it was full of, had no substance, etc., etc., and looked like he was quoting some biblical scripture that the men or those who sit idle will have to make an account for it, or talk idle will have to make an account for that talk, something along those lines. Unfortunately, we blocked this person and the comment was removed. Okay, and unfortunately, our reply, which was a little not really sarcastic, but you know, like we believe that you don't have to take that sort of crap, right? Nobody does. Now, if you're going to come at me with a truckload of shite, expect to, you know, trainload to turn up on your doorstep. Okay, if you understand that saying. Okay, so we are here to say, well, this person was incorrect, probably a troll. Okay, probably a troll. Hello and welcome to our channel. It has come to our attention that there is so much talk, or constant talk, about AI, or artificial intelligence, driverless cars, a technology advanced future, etc., etc. When today, in this very moment in time, we humans have our own problems and issues that we need to fix inwardly and outwardly in order for all human life to have a future, in a distant future. All these technological advancements and achievements are great. They can be beneficial to us as humans in the future, but we in reality are in the very here and now. So why doesn't someone like the mastermind or genius Elon Musk, or similar, or even those that we've personally come across who boast they are the GOAT, the greatest of all time, the smartest person on this planet, the most knowledgeable, etc., etc., come up with resources that all men can duplicate and grow through or from and survive on, live in peace and harmony, etc. Why don't, or why won't they teach others how to best utilize what they have now at hand, on hand, etc., or at least get this AI technology that they've created to help us do that? Scenario: I live in a peaceful country, reasonably peaceful country, minimal violence or problems, problematic dangers, they're minimum. I'm lucky to have taken over residence of a house and pay a reasonable rent each week per month. I only have one dependent on hand or with me, so can afford to pay the power ahead, i.e. 1 to 2 months ahead. Get discounts, all that sort of stuff. It's a better scheme than your average power company or the power companies offer. I can pay the internet ahead by 1 to 3 months or more, aiming at 1 to 2 years. Same with the rent. But the rent, I can't really do that anymore. Leave some change over in the bank where the landlord, etc., can take that extra, and it's a fallback safety measure. Okay. I have grown organic vegetables, herbs, etc., non-chemically grown. I've grown a organic garden with these in it, these plants in it, these herbs and veggies and root vegetables. I have 2 fridges, one big size, one smaller, just a little bit smaller, full of frozen goods, a deep freezer about 250 litres deep, stocked up with meat, bread, butter, margaritas, etc., etc. It's lockable. I have 2 pantry cupboards, one open and one lockable, stored up. All different kinds of cheap foods, baked beans, spaghetti, sweet corn, canned peas, etc. The cheaper budget versions, as well as some of the more costly ranges. And also we have a free pantry cupboard down the road, and people drop off food, and now and again we get the odd vegetables. Well, they are actually odd, we have no idea what half of them are. So take out the seeds, because the vegetable is rotting, and try to grow those seeds. Find out what they are. They might be a cucumber or some sort of weed pumpkin, etc., etc. So we're doing quite well with that. Growing a lot of vegetables, herbs, etc. Benefiting from that. Okay, so these vegetables, herbs, etc. that we're growing, we are thinking of using a food dehydrator, vegetable fruit dehydrator, and then storing them in sealed bags and storing them away in a locked pantry. So that's basically 5 minutes into the video where they said they got in 2 minutes 48 and there's no substance, they're idle words, etc., etc. So let's define the definition of idle. Okay, there's probably 2 or 3 meanings to it. Let's find the appropriate one, the one that fits. Okay, English Dictionary definition of idle: not in use, unemployed, inactive. Example, the lifeguard was idle during the winter months, not to be confused with idol, object of worship. A person blindly follows. What does idle mean? Definitions. Okay, he's not really telling us there. Straight off. Idle definition and meaning, Britannica Dictionary: not working, active, or being used. Idle workers who do not have jobs. The company's competitors have not been idle, not been active in recent months. The factory has been lying, sitting, etc., etc. Wikipedia, that's something to do with computers. Idle, to cause a machine or engine or mechanism to idle. I waited in the car while idling the engine. Yeah, that's not applicable to us. Okay, here we go. Collins Dictionary: idle is used to describe something that you do for no particular reason, often because you have nothing better to do. Okay, so there's plenty more here. So asked in that particular comment, so what were the words, okay, that were idle, that we used? Okay, what were the actions, right, that are considered idle, right? They're done for no reason, because we did all things for a reason. We created a formulae after reading a certain book, etc., that gave us the inspiration, the motivation, the drive to do something. It all fitted, right? And basically this is what we've achieved in the last 3.5 years roughly. We received money that we were owed. We didn't know we were owed. We were being underpaid. We ended up being like about roughly 35,000 to 40,000, right? Not giving the exact amount, okay? and then money kept coming in for that 3 years. Those 3 years, okay, shares, bank investments, etc. Okay, then COVID hit, but we had money in place, having an emergency fund account. So if we lost our job, at least we had enough money in there saved over that year, those 4 years while we were working, because we only had like 2 days off to go back to work, right? And it continued. So we put our money in there, in an emergency fund account, because we read this book, Order a Millionaire, and it suggested it, so we did that. Okay, we avoided all the other extras that you have to do. Okay, it's a good book, good system. And after a year, we noticed, wow, we've got a lot of money in there. Okay, so when there was a death in family and had problems and didn't go back to the job that I was working at for 4 years, at least I had all this money in the bank to pay the bills, etc., pay for the funeral without assistance from Social Security or anybody else, right? Because I'm independent, self-reliant, non-dependent on government welfare or security, Social Security, or family, friends, and others, right? Okay, because over the years I've realised, yeah, they always say, yeah, we'll always be there, got your back, you know, whatever happens, hell or high water. And then when it comes to the crunch, oh sorry, but I got enough problems on my own, I can't give you a loan, sorry about that, wish I could but I can't. Fair enough. The Social Security or welfare says, oh okay, we can't, because you have to wait 10 weeks to apply, or we have to apply, wait 10 weeks, and there's chances are you won't get any assistance, because you left your job or you lost your job and you got what's that, like they just end your job for whatever reason, right? Receivership, or they went into receivership, so they pay you up to date, your holiday money, all that sort of stuff. So you can try and survive on that. Okay, if you have no money in the bank, no security, or you owe so much money, you know, it's all chewed up, bank fees, debt, whatever, right? You got to pay your power bill, your utilities, whatever, so that gets eaten away, and you don't have any reserves. Okay, you got to try and find a job because you've lost your job, you've lost your income. Okay, there's no money coming in. How are you going to pay the bills? How are you going to buy food? Especially if you've got a wife or a partner and a family and dependents, you struggle, right? So we, from experience, right, came across solutions, quotes, right, that scriptural quotes and that said, say, you know, in the good times, well, wake up sluggard, he who slumbers, look to the ants, because in the summertime he gathers his food for the winter, right, he stores it up, etc., etc. So we realised, yeah, okay, the Egyptians did this also with the crops they grew around the banks of the Nile, etc., and then they stored it into barns, so they had plenty, you know, over the winter, all that sort of stuff for all the people. They all got together and did the work, right? Or when the hard times hit. Yeah. So yeah, we believe in that. I think it's a quote or something. Be prepared in the good times, in times of plenty, for when the bad times come about or appear, right? Because they will come. Chances are that, you know, something like you lose your job, then you lose your income, you can't pay the bills, all that sort of stuff. That sort of problem arises, right? Okay, it happens. So at least you have money behind you, an emergency fund to pay all those bills while you look for another job, okay, or more employment. And then when you find a job and you've got money coming in again, right, you put so much back per week or per month, say $10 to $20, replacing what you used to pay those utilities while you were looking for a job. Okay, that's the beauty of it. Okay, so again, we had pantries, 2 cupboards, one under lock and key, one that guests and the daughters and all that can help themselves, chippies and all that sort of stuff, whatever, spaghetti, baked beans, whatever. And they also got, I guess, have got a fridge. Because their grandparents are like appreciative that we look after them. This young couple, so they buy them food. It's like food we couldn't really afford, like a gnocchi. It's like a gnocchi patati or something. It's some Italian food. Looks like it's expensive, right? And stuff like that. Whatever they get, that's their food. They put it in their fridge or the cupboard, right? So when they come over again, then at least they got food there. We contribute to it as well. So yeah, they're cool. We don't mind them, right? But we've got strict rules. Don't go in our 250 litre freezer. That's like a store freezer, right? Because they'll eat us out of house and home. Like if you say a tray of 6 pies in there. New Zealanders know what we're talking about. Irving's pies, etc. Especially bacon and egg. They'll chew through those and they'll leave the empty packet in there, right? They'll chew through all the bread. Like one person can eat half a loaf of bread in one sitting because they're a huge eater, right? One of those two, anyway. All that sort of stuff, right? They'll eat all the ice cream. So yeah, put it under lock and key, because what happens if suddenly we're in the poo, right? Bad times come our way, money wise or whatever. Okay, and you don't see them around. They may come and give you a hand, help you out. They may not. They might just ride off into the sunset, like the Lone Ranger and Tonto, after they've eaten all your food. Used all your power, like leave all the lights on, etc., etc. Some people do this, right? Even though we're very charitable, kind, etc., etc. So these people that stay, they say we're going to stay for a day or a night, and then they end up staying for a week. Yeah, they're okay, right? So I grew, I dug up 3 patches of garden, fertilised them, all that sort of stuff, naturally, scraps of food and all that sort of stuff, and then planted vegetables in there. Okay, other people try and come and help themselves. We're kind and share with them, but then they sneak back and steal, right? Steal the plants, okay, and all that sort of stuff. So they're taking advantage of your charity, right? So yeah, we've done organic vegetable herb gardens. We've planted avocado, nuts or seeds. There's one tree in particular that's probably about 9 feet tall. It's probably about 4 or 5 years old. That apparently takes 10 years to produce an avocado. So I've got about 3 or 4 other ones. We've got tobacco plants. We just thought we'd try that out, right? They're supposed to die in the winter, but they did really well. They're still blooming, right? People are wanting those. No. Gave them some, and then they come back because they picked it to death probably because it's smoker addicts, right? Cigarette addicts. And they just says, can we have another one? A couple of others. I don't think so. Plus I moved them because we had a problem with a neighbour coming on a property, ripping up. When we said, you can cut the leaves off, he starts pulling the whole plant out, right? He scolded him, and he comes back when we're not around, or at night time, early in the morning, whatever, and steals the plants. So go out there, oh my gosh, the plant's gone. Put up a barrier on another fence off area with a pumpkin plant. It's going yellow, it's probably dying, but it still had green leaves clinging to the small fence. Put a barrier there for some reason, don't know why. He pulled it away, he chucked it forward on the grass, and he pulled the plant out and probably put it in a rubbish bin. That kind of thing. He's a slower person, doesn't understand. Okay. All this sort of stuff. Used to have neighbours stealing the mother's plants and stuff. She's growing on the side of the house, etc. Front yard, because you've got no fence and all that sort of stuff. So used to grow them. People putting their rubbish in your rubbish bin when it's illegal. Okay. Here in our community, it's illegal. They get caught, they get yelled at or growled. Hey! Because one guy tried to put a 7-foot chair in there one time, the neighbour. It's like, what the hell, the rubbish man's not going to take that. The plastics man, recyclable, it's too damn tall, right? And you get a complaint or something like that, put a sticker on your bin, whatever. Yeah, people put their car part, their engine parts in your bin and all that sort of stuff, and so what the hell? Yeah, so we created these organic gardens, pesticide free, and all these vegetables popped up, herbs. etc., etc. So it's quite plentiful. Put in all this hard work. Put this money in an emergency bank account. Built it up, and another investment scheme, bank investment scheme, through your employment. Your employer puts so much in a month. You contribute so much a month as well, and it builds up, right? Did some bank investments at the lowest was it 2,000. You get went about 3.5% back, and build it up. Put on the next one, which is probably about 3 to 4% interest per annum, and then build up to 10 grand and put it in like it's a 4 or 5 year plan or something. You might get 5.5% per annum back and all that sort of stuff, right? So it builds up. Okay, so we've got no financial worries, no money stress, no what are we going to eat, what are we going to buy, we can't afford it, all that sort of stuff, no money worries. Okay, it's all in place because of this particular book that we got hold of and followed. Okay, Auto Millionaire. Yeah, we secured up the place because people were jumping the fence saying, oh, we'll help ourselves to the vegetables. Oh, my dad might want that vegetable. I don't think so. You know, because you put the effort into it and someone comes along and thinks they can muscle you and just take it. That sort of stuff, right? So secured up the place. Yeah, pretty much we're ahead in the power of the internet, utilities, etc. for at least 3 to 6 months. Okay, so that frees us up. Any money coming in, well, we can invest it, put it in the bank, you know, sit on it, whatever, just in case the bad times come around. Yeah, it's all good, right? Got people coming with their addictions, neighbours, relations, whatever. Yeah, oh, I need $67 to buy tobacco. That's how much it is here for 30 gram or 50 gram tobacco. Very expensive. That's why we stopped smoking. Yeah. We knew this kind of thing was going to happen because the government here is trying to knock out smoking, right? They're trying to do that, right? So they increase the price so people to give up or some scheme like that. So they come and say, oh, could I possibly loan $67 till Tuesday? I'll give you 70, you know, for this addiction, cigarettes or whatever. We used to give all the time, but now we're a cash cow, an ATM to them for their convenience. So he says, nah, that's it. Charity goes so far, then it becomes a pain in the neck, right? I've done a video on that. Yeah, sometimes you got to stop being a softie or a snowflake because they'll use you for your money. As a cash cow, an ATM, you know, every Tuesday or whenever, each week, every couple of days, yeah, because they're trying to feed their addiction, this cigarette smoking or alcohol or drugs, you know. They might make out it's for something else, but, you know, yeah, soon find out. Even people that are like sitting on the side of the road, you know, begging for money and stuff, so figured it out. Well, they want money for what? Cigarettes, alcohol, cannabis, whatever, you know. So it's like, oh well, we'll give you food instead. Oh, I don't want that. I want $10. I don't think so, buddy. You know, because they went into a $2 shop that we have here, right? And this guy I'd been going to on the side of the street for a while. His mother actually says, "Don't give me any more money." Why is that? Because he goes and buys drugs with it. I can't cut you off, bro. Another one, like a couple were begging for $1 each time. They figured it out. It's for their race betting, right? Put their money on a horse, and if it wins, you know, they might buy a drink or something like that, or some cigarettes or whatever. Right? So he cut that off because the other friend, every time he saw us, he thought we were his instant, you know, cash gift, cash cow. Yeah, like that, right? Yeah, that's why I say charity is great. You give, you get returns, you know, back in time, i.e. according to, you know, God's timing or the universe or however you see it, right? How you see it, how you experienced it. But yeah, charity to a point is great, but to a point it becomes a pain in the neck. because people take advantage. Oh, he's kind. Oh, this is my cash cow. This is my ATM. This is my money machine walking down the street, right? And they use you, abuse you. Your money runs out, or they've chewed up all your resources, your financial resources. Then they're off, like the Lone Ranger and Tonto, off into the sunset, never to be seen again until they know, oh, he's got to build up. Okay, I'll see if I can scab, to feed my addictions or whatever, and then they'll do the same thing to you again. So you've got to cut it off at the knees. That's what we teach our children here. And you got like religiosos coming to your door. Yeah, it's all good talking to them, but we started to realise what's their motive, right? They're trying to convince you to come along to their church, right? Okay, and once they convince you, they got your confidence, right? And in attending that church, they may say, "Oh, give us all your money. You have to tithe. Give us 4% or 10% of your earnings each week, or whatever." What's the other one? Plant a seed and you'll get a harvest. Give us $1,000 or $10,000 and you'll reap a harvest. God's blessing, all this sort of stuff. And it doesn't happen. Or there might be a religious movement, aka cult, that says, right now, how much you get, where do you work, who do you work for, how much do you earn a week, how much do you pay rent, all these questions, right? And they basically say, sign over all your money to us. Okay? That sort of thing. These are the things you've got to watch out for. So this is what we teach our children. When they come to the door, this is what you've got to be aware of. Okay? They're trying to convince you, right, to their church, to get you to their church. And then once they're confident that you're a constant attending member, they'll try to convict you and then convince you to put all your money in the plate or to sign over all your money, right? Okay? And it's a form of control. That's why we at the Ministry of the Real Truth do these videos. We provide this help for free. Okay, this advice, etc. And we're not putting up with people that say, oh, it's a waste of time, it's idle, all this sort of hoo-ha, right? When it isn't. Okay? Because as we put in our comment, we have realised that we have this time available. Okay, it's an opportunity for us to better ourselves, to work on things, to create a better character. Each of us has a better character, whatever. Betterment, all that sort of stuff. Keep ourselves busy, right? Doing and achieving, doing things that work. Okay, some things don't work, but we strive to do other things that work, right? Like, again, we help people with solutions, resolutions to their problems, advice, or whatever. If you don't like advice, if you don't like wisdom, well then it's not for you, is it? If you poo-poo wisdom or advice, free advice, well, you obviously aren't listening. You don't want to listen. You don't want to know. You think you know it all, right? And you could possibly be a troll. Okay, just trying to get at somebody, right? Like here, he's gone to 2 minutes and 48 seconds, and this guy has waffled. He can't even spell it properly. And saying nothing of real substance. Now I understand even more. Every idle word shall men give an account. Well, taking it totally out of context, right? Okay. Taking it totally out of context. Probably not even I don't know, is it Christian or whatever? Okay, you didn't actually quote the verse. Okay, didn't have a source, the scriptural verse, all that sort of stuff, right? Possibly a troll. Usually when you see this, they're basically trolls. They might have 500 subscribers but no videos. So how the heck did they get 500 subscribers? Whereas we have worked hard, and thanks to these subscribers, stayed loyal to us, we've got roughly 123. Okay, so probably bought them, or somehow is lying through his teeth. If this is just an example, I'm not saying this person in particular, might have 100 to 500 subscribers but no video content. How does that work out? Maybe somebody out there be able to tell us, because maybe that's some sort of magic formula. Okay, so we've done all these things, put all these things in place through this formula. Okay, and it's worked for us. Okay, it's given us peace of mind, etc., etc. Okay, so if you heed advice, this kind of advice, we're here to help people. You know, we don't deserve to be commented like that. Okay, we give free advice. Okay, if it's going to be a problem, well, we suggest you pay for the information, right? Yeah, we put up a video or something saying to get this information, you first have to sign in or pay up or whatever, you know. What's it like, PewDiePie's account, right? Pay to view sort of thing. Yeah, but we aren't like that. We do need donations for our new residents, congregation, right? We're doing it from the residents, our home at the moment. Okay, these are the people that live here, so we'd rather take it away from our residents. Okay, have more people from that congregation or that church, that building, right? And we hit the streets and teach and preach the real truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, according to the original, ancient, very old, sacred scribal old tongue or language, the Lishana Atika Supriya, right, of the Assyrian Aramaic, or the Aramaic of the, or from the Kitab Ashrit, translated into English by a native born Aramaic speaking translator from Mesopotamia. Yeah, with 15 years experience, and also the Galilean Aramaic New Testament translated in English. Originally from the manuscripts that were hidden and preserved by the original Church of the East, the Apostolic Church of the East, founded by Thomas, etc., and so forth. Okay, so yeah, we're not we're not really worried. Okay, just yet, we just don't tolerate that, right? Okay, you don't have to tolerate that. Okay, this is their opinion, which is incorrect, right? We need to find the word, you know, idol, and then you listen to what we had to say. Okay, so yeah, if you find our videos have helped you immensely, please subscribe to our channel. Add your comments down below. Keep them mature, keep them adult. Okay. And then tell your family and friends, hey, we really like this Ministry of the Real Truth, because they don't pull no punches, and they're bringing us the real truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, unlike the others that are like full of pomp and bring us hype and fluff. They've been deceiving us, yeah, for years, for centuries, and we're truth seekers, real truth seekers, and we want to know what was actually written in those ancient scriptures, the biblical scriptures. Okay, we know we're being duped, we're being fooled by all these other churches, denominations, and their pastors and reverends and all that sort of stuff. It's just, it's just so obvious, and we're sick of it. We want the real truth. So let's all go to Ministry of Real Truth and watch their videos, because as they say, there is no other ministry online, on YouTube, etc., that is bringing it to you like we are, without the hype and the fluff and all the other bubblegum. Okay, so again, if you like this video, then subscribe to our channel, add your comments down below, give us a like, and then go tell all your family, friends, neighbours, strangers you might preach to on the street if you're religious, Christian wise, etc., and tell them about us, the Ministry of the Real Truth. Okay, all sarcastic comments, all is forgiven. There's no grudge. Okay, forgiven, etc. Catch you later.